What's going on, you guys? Lit Man Tuck is here, and I'm back with another book review. And like I said before, I'm switching up from the lit RPG because I do read different. I do read many types of genres. And today I want to talk about a book that I got from the urban fiction genre, specifically the African American, or better yet, street lit genre. And it was one of the free books that I got on Audible, and I was like, oh, let me give this a listen. And man, it was a pleasant surprise. It is by Clifford Spud Johnson, and the name of the book is Can't Stop. That's book one, and book two is called Won't Stop. I'm not gonna spoil too much of the book, but I just want to tell you about the main character. His name is Hotshot, or better yet, James. Okay, but Hotshot, he's a badass. He's basically a federal agent, and he's taking down criminals. And I love the story. Most of the story is book one, most of the story is based out of Dallas, Texas, and is where I'm from. And there were so many things. I can tell the person was either from Dallas or did a lot of research in the Dallas area, because at one part of the book, he was like, hey, where do you live? And she said 20 minutes away from Dallas. And I'm like, oh my God, everybody in this area is 20 minutes away from Dallas. And they named off cities like Plano, DeSoto. They had, a gangster in Oak Cliff. They had one guy coming out of Abilene. And I'm like, oh my God, I almost passed out. It was so many things. And they had to go to Parkland Hospital once. And it was a couple of gentlemen's establishments that I haven't been to, but it was in the book as well. I did find out, which one was it? I think it was Onyx, Club Onyx. I didn't know this, but it was a strip club and it had a barbershop in it as well. Another reference that it made was Big T Bazaar, and that is basically like a flea market or African American Walmart. I mean, you can get anything for a discount. I used to go there when I was a little kid. But let me get back to the book. The main character is Hotshot, and he is an absolute badass. He doesn't take crap off of anyone. And so without spoiling it, basically the entire two books is about him being a federal agent, but he has to fall into a role so he can catch these bad guys. And he also falls in love in the book. And yes, do not let your kids read this book, because it does have some steamy scenes in it as well. But he does fall in love in the book with one of the criminal families, and that gets interesting. All throughout the book is making a lot of references from Dallas to Tulsa to Oklahoma. I got family from Tulsa, and there is a lot of people from California moving to Texas now, just because it's a better money option for them. It's more opportunity for them, just the way it's set up. And so as a criminal, he's coming from California to Texas to make money, which in the book it states a lot of criminals do as well. So Can't Stop is book one, where he's mainly in Dallas, and they have an Operation Takedown where they're trying to take down the criminals. And he, like I said before, he falls in love, and he's with a crime family, and he's making deals. And then basically, this Hotshot, he has the green light to where he can get anything. He can get guns, he can get drugs, he can get whatever. And he's kind of like that middleman. And so whatever criminals deal with him, they keep a track of that. He leaves the city and they bust all the criminals. Then he goes to a different city. So that's pretty much what he does. And book two is called Won't Stop. So it's Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Book two is Won't Stop, where he goes to Oklahoma and he pretty much does the same thing. And I know that seems like a vanilla review, but if I do reveal anything, it kind of spoils it. In some book reviews, you can kind of tell what happened in the book without spoiling it. You still, go and read it. But with this, man, Mr. Clifford Spud Johnson, he put different twists and turns in it to where if I tell you, then it spoils some very, very tasty things. But like I said before, folks, it's in the street lit genre. Another thing that's pretty cool that I like about the main character, I find some similarities in myself. And I'm not calling myself a complete badass, but he has a military background. And one thing that he does every day, he wakes up and he does 500 push-ups, 500 sit-ups, and 500 jumping jacks, or calisthenics. I don't do that, okay? That is a lot. I tried to do it yesterday. I tried to do, I just ran the clock for about 55 minutes, and I was able to do 250 push-ups, proper push-ups, sit-ups, and jumping jacks. My abs are sore. My chest is a little sore because I'm not just used to doing that much volume. I want to work myself up to the point to where I can complete the 500, 500, and 500 calisthenics in 90 minutes, because that's what he does in the book. And the thing is, even though he's kind of like a super character in the book, that 500 rep stuff is very, very doable. Now, you have to be really fit, you have to be on top of your game, but it's very doable. So they didn't make him superhuman. But as far as like martial arts, he's a badass. He's a badass marksman. You cannot mess with him, and he doesn't take crap off of anybody. So if you're into street lit, now if you don't know what street lit is, or urban fiction, the African American literature, it's basically, if you listen to hip hop, you know, like gangster rap or something like that, it's very similar to that, but in a book. Or if you, you know, like gangster movies and things of that nature, it's very much like that type of movie, but it's literature. It's in a book, and it's really going into the details. Have you ever seen that show, Queen of the South? It's very similar. It's very similar to that. The feel and the texture of the story is very similar. And so I'm going to be coming out with more street lit reviews, but I'm going to go bounce back to game lit. I am very much so a dabbler. So I dabble in different genres. And so hopefully somebody can find this and they like the book, and then it will lead them to other things that they may like. So, man, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment, man. Ask a question or leave a comment, or give me a recommendation. If you like this book, give me a recommendation on something to read that I may like as well, and I appreciate that. But anyway, that's all I got, folks. I will see you next time.